So I thought, there is no possible way that is a coincidence. I have to go take my shahada. My heart felt deep in the mosque. Like I would sit there, and that's why I love Pakistan so much, is because I have such a good association with the Pakistan people.
What makes someone completely change their life? What makes them leave everything familiar behind and choose something that most people around them don't understand? Today, we're going to tell you about something that actually happened, and it's incredible. Welcome to AI Finds. Today, we're looking at the real story of Canyon, a regular 19-year-old American guy. He went to Pakistan thinking it would just be a fun trip. 3 weeks later, he had completely changed his religion.
Assalamu alaikum. In this video, I'm going to tell you the story of how I ended up moving to Pakistan as a 19-year-old, and it led to me reverting to Islam.
Not over months or years, just 3 weeks. So what happened? What could possibly make someone make such a huge change so fast? We found some amazing reasons. Here's the first thing that hit Canyon hard. And it wasn't religion at all. It was the people. Canyon grew up in America, where everyone's busy and focused on themselves. He'd even traveled in Europe, but everywhere he went, people kept to themselves. Then he got to Pakistan. Canyon walked into a mosque for the first time. He was a foreigner, different skin color, different language, different everything. He expected people to look at him strangely, or maybe even tell him to leave. But that's not what happened. An old man saw him and immediately said, "Welcome, Muslim brother," and gave him a big hug. And this wasn't just one time. It kept happening everywhere he went.
The first experience I had ever in a Pakistani mosque, I walk in and this uncle walks up to me and he goes, "Oh, Muslim brother." And my friend goes, "Oh, no, he's not Muslim." And they're all like, "Ah, no, Muslim brother, inshallah, inshallah." And they're all so kind.
Every single person treated him like family from day one. No questions asked, no suspicion, just love. Kenyon had never experienced anything like this. Suddenly, Islam wasn't just a religion he'd heard about on the news. It was real people showing him real love. This kindness opened his heart and made him want to know more. When people accept you completely, it changes everything. Canyon had always been the type of person who asks why. He wasn't trying to be difficult. He just wanted to understand things. Back home, he'd asked his Christian friends deep questions about faith.
And I started asking him more questions about Islam. So previously, I had 2 Christian friends in America, and I'm a curious person, naturally. And I'd always ask them questions, and that kind of fizzled. And I went through now this same phase with Islam. I was like, "Oh, what about this? What about that?" You know, the regular stuff you would ask. "Well, that doesn't make sense. Women don't have rights. Why would I follow the religion? Oh, you guys are so violent." You know, the stereotypical stuff. And I'd ask him everything.
But every time the conversations would just stop. They didn't have real answers for him. But in Pakistan, everything was different. When he started asking Muslims about their faith, they didn't get annoyed or tell him to stop questioning. They actually got excited. They sat down with him for hours, explaining everything patiently. They answered his hardest questions about women's rights, about violence, about laws, everything he'd been confused about Western media. For the first time in his life, Canyon was getting real answers that actually made sense. They didn't tell him to just believe, they explained why they believed. They showed him evidence, history, and logic. His mind was finally satisfied. This wasn't blind faith, this was understanding, and that made all the difference.
Something is here. Something's here. I think I want to be a Muslim.
While his mind was getting answers and his heart was feeling loved, something even deeper was happening. Canyon started praying with Muslims 5 times a day. At first, he was just watching. Then he started joining in. And something amazing happened during one particular prayer. During prayer, when you put your forehead on the ground, Canyon felt something he'd never felt before. He said it was like his heart became completely heavy and peaceful at the same time.
And I would feel like I'm being pulled to the ground, like very heavy and very like calm and very relaxed.
It was as like finally finding something he'd been looking for his whole life. His head was lower than his heart, and in that moment, he felt connected to God in a way that was completely new to him. This feeling kept happening every time he prayed. It wasn't just nice, it was powerful. It wasn't just relaxing, it was real. His soul recognized this feeling, and it wanted more of it. This wasn't something he was told to feel. It just happened, and it kept happening. After all these experiences, Canyon knew in his heart, mind, and soul that Islam was right for him. But he still hesitated. Changing your whole identity is huge. He needed one final sign to be completely sure, and he got it in the strangest place, an elevator. Canyon was alone in an elevator when the power went out. Total darkness. He was stuck. But here's the amazing part. His first reaction wasn't to panic. His very first thought was to pray to Allah. Not the God he'd known before, Allah. For 20 minutes in that dark elevator, he prayed like he'd been doing it his whole life.
So I start making dua. And I prayed, this is exactly what I prayed for. I said, God, I don't know exactly what's real. I don't know who you are, what religion is real. I pray that you guide me. I pray that you guide me in the right direction. I pray that you guide me towards the truth. And I pray that you guide me on the path that is best for me. Amen. And I did this for about 20 minutes. I repeated this for about 20 minutes.
When he finally got out, he realized something incredible. In his moment of need, his heart had turned to Islam naturally. Not because someone told him to, but because it felt right. He knew this wasn't a coincidence. It was his sign, his final confirmation. That same day, he looked up how to say the Shahada and declared his faith.
So I thought, there is no possible way that is a coincidence. I have to go take my Shahada.
Canyon became a Muslim. Pakistan truly transformed my life by guiding me from Christianity to Islam. The people embraced me with immense love and kindness, patiently teaching me Islamic values and principles. Their compassion and sincerity deepened my faith, helping me grow spiritually. I am grateful for their support and guidance, which strengthened my connection to Islam and enhanced my understanding of its teachings.
And that's why I love Pakistan so much, is because I have such a good association with the Pakistan people. Because they were so kind to me, because they were so nice to me, it's what opened up my eyes to Islam.
So why did Kenyon convert? It wasn't one big moment. It was 4 things working together perfectly. First, the amazing kindness of people who accepted him completely. Second, the satisfying answers that his mind finally understood. Third, the deep spiritual peace he felt when he prayed. And fourth, the clear sign that confirmed everything. Canyon's story shows us that finding faith isn't about rejecting your past. It's about finding where you truly belong, where your heart feels loved, your mind finds truth, and your soul finds peace. Sometimes the biggest changes happen the fastest when everything aligns perfectly. What do you think was most important for Canyon? The people, the answers, the feelings, or the sign? Tell us in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to AI Finds for more incredible real stories.